Have you ever felt it, that invisible shift in a room's energy? You can't quite put your finger on it, but you just know it's real. It's like a sixth sense for the social mood that tells you something is up before anyone even says a word. If that sounds familiar, you're definitely not alone, and we're about to dive into exactly why.
So picture this. You walk into a party and it's not the music you notice first. It's the tension. Or you join a work meeting and you can practically feel the unspoken excitement in the air. Maybe you just get home and the silence just feels different. That feeling, it's not your imagination. Yeah, for some of us, it's like we're walking social barometers. We're the ones who notice the unspoken argument that just happened or the subtle joy that's connecting two people from across the room. We feel that sudden awkward shift when the wrong thing gets said. It can be a really powerful and sometimes, an overwhelming experience.
And here's the crucial part, the thing I really want you to hear. This is not you being overly emotional or just reading into things. There's actually a name for this, and understanding it can completely change how you see yourself and how you interact with the world around you.
So what do we call this? This highly tuned, always-on social radar? Well, the psychological term for it is high social sensitivity. It's basically the ability to pick up on and interpret all those tiny little social cues, a slight shift in someone's tone, a fleeting facial expression, to understand the real story that's happening just beneath the surface. Honestly, the best way to picture it is exactly like a sophisticated radar system. It's just constantly on, constantly scanning the social environment, and it picks up on signals that most other people might completely miss.
But where does a radar like this even come from? I mean, are you just born with it? Well, research suggests that for a lot of people, it's not something you're born with. It's a skill that's been forged by experience.
So here's the key idea. High social sensitivity often develops as a kind of survival mechanism. Think about it. If you grew up in an environment where the emotional weather was unpredictable, you had to get really, really good at forecasting storms to stay safe. So the path often looks something like this. It starts with an unpredictable early environment. That creates a deep-seated need to constantly anticipate other people's moods just to feel secure. And over time, all that constant scanning sharpens your perception until it becomes this incredibly refined skill. It's not a flaw, it's a powerful adaptation. Okay, so we know the what and we know the why, but what does this actually look like in day-to-day life? Let's break down the 6 key traits that really define this whole experience.
There are 6 core traits that really stand out, and the first one, well, it's probably the most important.
First and foremost, you are an expert at reading what isn't said. You're not just listening to the words people are saying, you're watching the entire performance. This means you're noticing that tiny quiver in someone's voice, even when they say, "I'm fine." You're the one who catches those micro-expressions that flash across a face for just a split second. You see that major disconnect when someone says yes, but their entire body language is screaming, "No way." Next up, trait number 2. You hear the subtext. It's like you're tuned into the conversation that's happening underneath the words. The hidden meanings, the unspoken needs, all those subtle little jabs that most people just miss entirely. Trait number 3 goes right back to that survival instinct we were talking about. You can sense conflict brewing long before it ever blows up. You just feel that subtle shift in energy, that change in the rhythm of a conversation that tells you trouble is on the horizon. And this brings us right back to our title, right? The vibe shift. You are incredibly skilled at detecting changes in the whole group's dynamic. You know the exact moment a lighthearted hangout turns serious, or when a new person joins and suddenly the entire social equation has changed. What's really fascinating is that this sensitivity isn't just for people. It actually extends to your entire environment. You're the person who notices the picture frame is slightly crooked, or that the lighting in the room just shifted, or you hear that faint sound that no one else seems to register. Your awareness is just dialed up to a whole other frequency. And finally, trait number 6. This isn't just about perceiving all this information in the moment. It's about what happens after. You tend to process social interactions very deeply. You might replay conversations in your head, analyzing what was said, what was left unsaid, and just trying to make sense of it all. So, after hearing all that, you might be thinking, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Is it a burden to be this aware all the time, or could it actually be a kind of superpower? Let's try and reframe it. For years, maybe your whole life, you've heard that classic dismissal, "You're just being too sensitive." But the psychological reality is so much more empowering. It's not about being overly sensitive.
It's about being highly perceptive. You aren't inventing these signals, you're just accurately detecting things that are really there.
And this is the most crucial takeaway. That skill, the one that was forged in an unpredictable past to keep you safe, it doesn't have to be a source of anxiety anymore. Today, right now, it can be the foundation for incredible empathy, for deep connection, and for a profound understanding of the people around you.
So the question I want to leave you with is this. After seeing where it comes from and what it's capable of, is your social radar a bug, or is it a feature? A powerful built-in system that helps you understand the world on a much, much deeper level.